Hey, but dude, makes no sense. Why would we focus on this $10,000, right? People don't really care about it.
Yeah, they do, because it tells them how much it's worth.
Yeah, but it's like not about. Let's see if you. Okay, we just got this new book, this new offer that we're selling. We never sold it before. We're selling for $1,000, but Ed and I, we're having trouble coming up with a good headline. I think it should be more this way. Ed thinks more this way, and we're just a bit stuck.
So share with me the headlines you have now.
Okay, I think it should be more like just benefit driven, right? So what I have is just get more sales with less resistance using the world's most expensive black book.
Okay.
Right.
And then what about that one?
This Ed, you want to share it?
Yeah, sure. Why thousands of people invested up to $10,000 to get their hands on this little black book.
Okay. There's no context here because they're like, what's the 10,000? Where does that come from? What's this headline?
Okay, it's like how to close more premium deals with the world's most expensive black book.
Okay. So first of all, think about for most people, how much does a book cost usually?
Like $20?
$20, right?
A lot of free ones.
Yeah, free. But like a
You pay
physical
shipping,
book.
right?
Yeah, Amazon, $15, $20. So the first objection, anyone reading the headline, it's like, why is this book worth $1,000?
Yeah.
Right. So that's that contrast. You can't just say something's expensive if there's no value.
Yeah.
So what the story of why this book is valuable because of what blank. Right? Okay, so we need that first. So remember when you're writing headlines, first we always talk about remember I talked about in the past the big hook, the big idea.
Yeah.
The big idea. Yeah. So why this black book is valuable? Because first of all, it's not available anywhere else. So exclusivity.
Yep.
You cannot get it from Amazon. You can only get it from us.
Yeah.
Second of all, no students have no one is we've never offered this to the public before. Only the students have gone through our programs. Also, they're high-level students, the inner circle, and they've attended an event. They would get a copy of this. So by that time, when they actually get a hold of this book, they have invested at least up to $10,000 to even get this.
Yeah.
So then the value, the comparison, I like what you have here, which is invest up to $10,000, but there's no context. Like why? Because other people look at this like, oh, just a bunch of people invest $10,000. What does that mean? Is they've gone through this process, and the book, remember, is about the best practices within our programs to put together in a book, which has never been done before, right?
Yeah.
So from that angle, so how can we tweak this? So let's talk about that's the big idea, right? When writing headline, first that's the big idea.
Right, so you're talking about story, Sifu, right? I think a really good story is like all our people in our community, they've closed a lot of sales, right? A lot of premium deals. Yeah. You think they close over like billions and billions of deals on
We've
this,
done now 30. So when we're writing headline, if there's it's credibility, instead of just billions of dollars, we have documented now up to $34.5 billion our students have closed, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So we should think about how to work that in the headline.
Okay.
So then now it's the people are not comparing the apple to apple. A book is $20. It's what's in the book. So first of all, just the value of the book. We have thousands of students invest over $10,000 to get to this point to get the book, but the content in the book have produced $34.5 billion, and not just $34.5 billion. It's for brands, companies, right? Remember we talked about Scotiabank and IKEA and Tony Robbins. Like that's the students that we've trained that have closed those deals.
Yeah.
Even government, right? Country deals. So we should somehow incorporate that here. So then. It's expensive for a reason. So that's the big hook.
Yeah.
Right?
Got it, okay.
That's the big hook.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. Also, like all the stuff in the book, it goes against everything that people are normally taught in sales.
Yeah, so unusual.
Yeah, like
unusual,
odd, not odd.
Not odd.
Not contrarian?
Unconventional.
Unconventional, counterintuitive?
It could be counterintuitive,
counterintuitive.
unusual. Yeah, because it's different because what we teach is different from everybody else.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
So the way we sell, the way that we don't use the typical sales techniques. That could be explained in the body copy.
Okay.
But just the big idea in the headline. So the big idea is the results driven, $34.5 billion results produced. Right. That's the big idea.
Thank you, Peter.
Right.
That's the first thing. The unique So the second key, right, to the
Yeah.
headline, always talk about is the unique mechanism. So we have the big idea.
Yeah.
We have unique mechanism. So
Okay.
the unique mechanism.
You need a mechanism.
Unique mechanism. It's what is one promise that we could make that no one else could make. Yeah, I mean, how many damn sales books are out there? What's the one thing that we can make? So unique mechanism we could do, which is the counterintuitive.
Yeah,
contrarian.
counterintuitive, yeah.
That's different from
Right.
everybody else. We're
Totally.
telling them that, well, of course, it's different from everybody else because
Mhm.
the results were produced, right?
True.
So I think that's pretty powerful.
Okay.
Somehow I got to work in the headline.
Right.
Okay.
Because then people look at the headline and say, okay, because right now this is not unique. And
Yeah.
think about the premium. They say how to close more premium deals. How do you define that? For some premium, it's $1 million. For some premium, it's $1,000.
Yeah.
So that's confusing.
Mhm.
And I don't know why is it expensive. Expensive, it could be a unique mechanism because that's a curiosity.
Yeah.
Like, why is it so expensive? But we need to explain that. So big idea, that. So maybe something where discover. I always like discover some,
Discover.
discover
Right.
some,
Okay.
discover.
That's a good word.
Just try to discover.
I think I'll flip it over.
Yeah, or discover. Yeah, discover.
So it's like discover.
Discover. Uh, Sometimes people use amazing secret. I don't like amazing secrets; it's overused.
Yeah.
Discover.
Counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Try unusual first.
Unusual. Okay.
Yeah, try
Right.
the
Discover.
discover the unusual.
Unusual. Closings.
Closings. No, because within our community, people understand closing,
Mhm.
but we're talking to a cold audience, they don't understand closing.
Right.
So.
Sales, right?
Selling.
Selling.
Yeah,
Selling.
discover the usual selling secrets that have so big idea, right? So the big idea, secrets is good. People want to know, right?
Yeah.
What is something that they don't know that could help them produce better results, right?
Yeah.
So discover the unusual that have produced.
Yeah, produced.
Wait, but what if we tie in the expensive book again? So it's like discover the unusual selling secrets in the book
That's fine.
that have produced.
That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine.
Can
That's
you do that? Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's
Give
try
that a
that.
go.
Let's try that. So
Sad, what is that?
discover the unusual
Selling secrets
secrets in
inside.
inside.
World's most expensive book? Or
Well, it may not be the world's most expensive book. There are books that are
Right.
more expensive.
Yeah, what
but
about
definitely, inside, it definitely it's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inside this expensive black book.
That's fine. I
Okay.
think that's okay because that's curiosity.
Okay.
Discover the unusual selling secrets inside this expensive black book
Okay.
that have produced.
Yeah.
That have produced. So remember, so big idea,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
mechanism,
Mhm.
but people are skeptical.
Yeah.
So a key thing if we could do is to inject some credibility early on. Like, well, you say, how do I know this is not a lie?
Yeah.
Right.
And what do you mean 34 point? Because billion is a big number.
That's a- yeah.
It's for most people, it's such an unbelievable number.
That's tremendous.
Even though it's documented,
Yeah.
it's 34.5 billion in sales. For let's see if we can include some of the brands
Yeah,
that
so
we can work
for
with.
for businesses like
For I would say not businesses for because businesses feel small.
that's true.
Yeah.
So for brands, I like for brands,
Yeah.
for brands and companies.
Mm.
I would prefer companies than businesses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Companies.
And then we could have like their logos there.
And that's good. So for so discover the unusual selling secrets inside this expensive black book that produced 34.5 billion in sales for. Okay, even for let's say for some of the biggest brands, because I
Right.
want to use
Yeah.
for
For some of the biggest brands. and
biggest
companies.
brands and companies. Then we include USA because we have a whole list of those.
Yeah. We could do like IKEA. I think that's one of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
IKEA. I know Royal Bank. So
Yeah,
bank,
like
Scotia
RBC,
Bank.
Scotiabank, Acura.
Acura. We
Mhm.
have
Tony Robbins too.
Tony, I know
Nice.
we know for closing for Tony.
You want to put it here?
Yeah, just
Ikea?
put like dot, and then we'd have like all like the logos.
Yeah, we have
logos
all,
there.
but we're like
Oh,
34
okay,
of
so we
those.
have
We
all
don't need
those.
to use 34, it's too much, but
Yeah.
pick the
Probably
the
top five.
Yeah,
Yeah,
top bunch.
And we just have like
Logos.
them right there.
logos. So
Yeah.
okay, so let's try this again. Discover the unusual selling secrets.
Yeah.
maybe
unusual.
maybe not unusual. Let's try something else.
Okay.
Let's try. People might get
Counterintuitive.
try counterintuitive.
Counterintuitive.
Okay.
Discuss. So we have the big idea. I like the unique mechanism because it's
Yeah.
like big idea is 34.5.
Oh, put it in quotations.
Yeah, I like quotations because it's like
like-
counterintuitive. Like, oh,
yeah.
it's a little unusual.
Yeah.
Selling secrets, like very not just marketing but selling, very clear. Inside this expensive black book that produced 34.5 billion in sales for some of the biggest brands and companies like da 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 da, right? All the I like that.
Yeah.
But we need now.
We need to tie it back to them.
Yeah, to tie it back to them. So this is could be the main headline. So let's do a little sub headline here. What's the sub
Right.
headline? So now it's like, okay, great. This is what you've done. You've got the unique mechanism. You've got a big idea. We've got some credibility.
Uh-huh.
So let's tie in. What's it mean for them?
What about like how you could use it too?
How you could use the same secrets?
Yeah.
How you can use the
Same
same
secrets?
secrets? Yeah. Try that.
Like, and how you can use the same secrets here?
Yeah.
Okay.
How maybe it's smaller. How.
Yeah.
And how. Yeah. And so
And how you can
use the same secrets.
to
Same secrets. To discover the counterintuitive selling secrets inside this expensive.
Same
product.
secrets to
They
what?
produced.
close.
You had what? Get more sales. I don't like get more sales.
Yeah, get more
It's
sales
It's
is
too,
good.
it's too
Right.
generic.
Yeah.
I don't like that. With this,
Close.
it's
Not
not unique.
premium. Use not premium.
No, don't use premium. How you can use the same because it could get the information could benefit from someone who's not selling premium.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's anyone because we want to serve a broader market. So it could be anyone that's selling anything really, right?
Yeah.
That's like selling any. So how you can use the same secrets to sell,
Ooh.
close.
I think close because it's all about closing.
That's it was.
Yeah,
it's
the
the
closing
close
book.
black book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to close.
To close anyone.
Yeah, close anyone.
I like remember the video that I did.
Yeah.
Sell me this pen.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
went viral. It's like
So-
anyone, anytime, anything, anywhere. How about that?
Right.
The angle.
Here, let me pull up the title.
Yeah. How you can use the same
Same
secrets to close anyone,
anytime, anywhere.
anytime, anywhere. I like it's
Yeah.
it's anything, right? Anyone,
Anytime, anywhere.
But I need product. I need anything.
For any
That's okay.
product.
Yeah, close.
Same secrets to close
Anyone.
anything, anytime, that's doesn't know. That's a bit too much. No.
How about
The-
seems to close anyone on anything,
Yeah.
anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, the same secrets to close anyone, any
Time.
time, anywhere
Mm-hmm. On
for any
Product or service.
yeah, and for any products or services.
right.
Okay, let's try that. So discover the counterintuitive selling secrets inside this expensive black book that have produced 34.5 billion in sales for some of the biggest brands and companies like logo, and how you can use the same secrets to close anyone, anytime, anywhere for any products or services. Any products or service. If you something is
product or
missing.
So it's missing at the end there.
Yeah. And if for any products or services you
That
offer,
Yeah, you offer.
you offer,
That you offer.
you offer, you
Right.
sell,
Oh,
you
they
offer,
They offer.
you offer,
You offer. Okay.
you offer. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better.
Okay.
Okay, so think about we have the big idea, right? 34.5.
Yeah.
We have the mechanism,
Mhm.
right? Brands, counterintuitive. We have the credibility of the
Credibility
logos,
of
and then
logos,
we have a very
right.
strong call to action. So compare this to the beginning headline.
It's a little bit different.
That was shit.
Yeah,
That was no
yeah.
good. We can test this. I think we could
We
roll
test
with
it,
this.
right?
We can
Yeah,
test
Yeah,
this.
we could run with this.
We can run with this.
Okay, let's do it.
Good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
It's good.
Good.